Welcome back to the channel where rare coins turn into unbelievable treasures and pocket change transforms into jaw-dropping fortunes. And today, get ready to be blown away as we dive deep into the astonishing world of the 1996 D. Lincoln 1-cent coin, a seemingly ordinary penny that has stunned collectors, dealers, historians, and treasure hunters with its unimaginable value soaring up to an astronomical $555 million because of the rarest errors, minting mistakes, and mysterious anomalies that have sent shockwaves through the numismatic community and ignited a frenzy among coin enthusiasts worldwide who now scour their collections and pocket change in hopes of uncovering one of the most elusive and fascinating numismatic legends ever known. And this journey into the heart of this million-dollar coin isn't just about the copper-plated zinc, the mint mark, or the year, but about a breathtaking combination of minting blunders that defy logic, patterns that elude expectations, double die misprints, off-center strikes, die clashes, planchet abnormalities, and undocumented variations so subtle yet so impactful that they have elevated this humble 1996 D penny into a symbol of numismatic perfection through imperfection. And as we begin to unravel the rich layers of mystery surrounding this coin, we must understand that not all 1996 D pennies are created equal, and while billions were struck at the Denver Mint, a mere handful carry the rare set of errors that push their value into the multimillion-dollar realm, starting with the legendary double die obverse where Lincoln's features appear ghosted or shadowed, resulting in a striking visual duplication of his profile, beard, and coat, and this anomaly, often dismissed as insignificant, when confirmed under magnification, dramatically increases the coin's desirability. But that's just the beginning, because other instances reveal misaligned dies where one side of the coin is off-center while the reverse remains centered, creating a mind-bending effect of partial detail loss and raised rims that collectors treasure. And then we enter the territory of off-metal strikes where a 1996 D cent has reportedly been struck on a foreign planchet, possibly intended for a dime or a Canadian cent, resulting in incorrect weight and coloration, typically appearing silver or golden and confusing even seasoned numismatists until advanced testing reveals the truth. And these off-metal coins are incredibly rare, possibly the result of planchets being accidentally mixed at the mint due to international coinage production contracts, and even rarer are the examples with broad strikes, where the coin has expanded beyond its usual borders due to the collar not functioning during the strike, producing a warped, stretched appearance that violates all standard minting aesthetics and is loved for its unique story. And let's not forget about the off-center strikes where up to 90% of the design is missing, yet enough remains to identify it as a 1996 D. And these are exceptionally rare and command eye-popping figures at auctions, especially when the date and mint mark are intact, but the reverse is nearly blank or misaligned at extreme angles, suggesting severe mechanical errors during minting. And then there are the die cracks, cuds, and retained interior die breaks which form bizarre raised lines, lumps, and rim bulges on the surface of the coin, often appearing like lightning bolts, mountain ridges, or tears in the metal, each one telling a unique story of a die that was overused or flawed, pushing the minting equipment beyond its mechanical limits. And then we dive deeper into varieties where tiny repunched mint marks, RPMs, are observed under strong magnification, showing faint traces of a secondary D mint mark either above, below, or to the side of the primary one, caused by the manual punching process still used in certain operations of the 1990s despite technological advancements. And while most people never notice this detail, to a trained collector, it's a sign of a coin that deviated from the standard and thus holds exceptional value. And among the most fascinating stories are those of transitional errors, where some experts believe a test run of coins may have accidentally been struck using dies from different years, resulting in phantom features or edge reading inconsistencies which suggest a crossover between cent and other denominations, a theory supported by metallurgical tests and die wear patterns not consistent with the regular 1996 D issue. And still more rare are the so-called mule errors, where obverse and reverse dies from different denominations are accidentally paired during minting, resulting in a coin with a penny front and a dime or nickel back. A mistake nearly impossible in modern quality-controlled environments but nonetheless recorded and authenticated in rare historical events. And if even one such mule were found with a 1996 D obverse, it could instantly become one of the most valuable coins in U.S. history. And beyond these striking visual errors lie the invisible anomalies only detectable through weight measurement and X-ray fluorescence analysis, such as incorrect alloy ratios due to improper mixing or foreign metal contamination resulting in pennies that either weigh less than 2.5 grams or exceed it. violating mint standards and indicating accidental inclusion of pre-1982 bronze planchets or experimental compositions, and these subtle differences, while invisible to the naked eye, drive prices sky-high when verified. And another area collectors explore is die polishing errors, where excessive cleaning of the die erases key features such as parts of Lincoln's bust, the date, or the lettering, creating ghostly, eerie appearances that captivate those seeking the rare and unusual. And when combined with strike doubling or machine doubling, the result is a coin so unique it often defies even expert classification. And we must also consider environmental anomalies, where improper storage or exposure causes toning that appears in brilliant hues of blue, purple, green, and gold, creating rainbow effects highly prized in the collector market. And while technically not mint errors, this natural toning when paired with an authentic mint error can push the coin's value into the stratosphere. And then there's the realm of provenance and hype, where a coin's backstory, whether found in a buried jar, passed down through generations, or discovered by a child, can dramatically enhance its emotional and cultural value. And auction houses have recorded instances where just such a backstory, combined with rare errors, has turned a humble cent into a multimillion-dollar artifact. And as collectors scramble to find their own fortune, the market has responded with a frenzy of grading submissions, forensic metallurgical testing, and private sales, where wealthy buyers quietly exchange these coins for sums rivaling fine art, real estate, or luxury yachts. And this frenzy has given birth to rumors of unlisted varieties, hoarded government misprints, and secret stash finds still waiting to be discovered in change jars, basements, and antique shops across America. And as digital platforms amplify these stories, social media videos showcasing jaw-dropping error coins have gone viral, turning everyday individuals into millionaires overnight, and further driving the demand and value of coins like the 1996 D with confirmed or even rumored anomalies. And major grading services like PCGS and NGC have noted a spike in 1996 D submissions, many labeled as mint error or variety coins and commanding premium values when slabbed with designations such as MS 67 red double die obverse or off-center strike with full date. And some of these coins have achieved sales prices in private collector circles exceeding even the $555 million valuation as symbolic representations of rarity and investment potential. And the convergence of rarity, mystique, collector passion, historical context, and the thrilling randomness of minting errors has elevated this coin beyond a simple object into a phenomenon, a legend, and a once-in-a-lifetime discovery that encapsulates everything magical about numismatics. So if you're holding a 1996 D penny, it's time to grab a magnifying glass, check the weight, inspect the rims, look for doubling, search for die cracks, misalignments, repunched mint marks, and above all consider the possibility that you just might be holding a piece of numismatic history worth more than a Beverly Hills mansion, more than a private jet, more than you ever thought a single cent could be worth. And with only a tiny number of these majestic flawed marvels in existence, the race is on to find the next one, to unlock the next mystery, to hold in your hand what might be the most valuable mistake the US Mint ever made. And the 1996 D penny, with its ocean of bizarre possibilities and treasure-laden potential, continues to reign as one of the most exciting, intriguing, and sought-after coins in the modern world, proving that even the smallest pieces of metal can carry the greatest stories and the highest price tags. And as new discoveries emerge, we will continue to cover every twist, every auction, every verified anomaly. So don't forget to stay tuned and never overlook even the most common-looking coin in your change, because as the 1996 D penny shows us, value is often hidden in plain sight, just waiting to be discovered by someone curious enough to look close. Next, imagine reaching into your pocket, pulling out a penny, and discovering it's worth more than a fleet of Lamborghinis, more than a mansion in Beverly Hills, more than the lifetime earnings of most celebrities. And that's exactly the extraordinary reality behind the 1991 Lincoln 1-cent coin, a tiny copper-plated zinc disc that has become a legendary icon in the numismatic world with a staggering and surreal valuation of $786 million due to an almost mythical array of mint errors, production anomalies, and historical oddities that elevate it from common currency to one of the most coveted and awe-inspiring treasures in coin collecting history. And as we peel back the layers of mystery, error, and monetary madness that make this coin so incredibly valuable, collectors, historians, investors, and everyday people alike are left mesmerized by the complex and rare combination of mishaps that created what is now considered the crown jewel of American coinage errors. And Although billions of 1991 Lincoln cents were minted, most with no special qualities, there are a select few coins struck at the Philadelphia Mint that were subject to an unbelievable string of production flaws that render them not only distinct but unimaginably rare, and it is these flaws, when combined in specific configurations, that skyrocket their value beyond rational comprehension. Beginning with the most discussed and documented anomaly, the double die obverse, where Lincoln's face, beard, Liberty inscription, and date show noticeable duplication due to misalignment between die impressions, and this variety, especially when the doubling is dramatic and crisp, has fetched outrageous offers at elite auctions, and yet even more bizarre are the instances of triple die errors, where three ghosted versions of the profile overlap, causing visual confusion and stunning collectors with their rarity. And then we enter the realm of off-center strikes, where the die did not align correctly with the planchet during the strike, resulting in coins where up to 95% of the design is shifted, and if the date and mint marks still remain visible on the sliver of struck area, such examples can command massive premiums. And then we find broad strikes, which occur when the collar die fails, allowing the metal to expand beyond the normal diameter of the coin and produce oddly wide, sometimes warped versions of the Lincoln cent that look alien in nature but are fully authenticated by experts. And adding to the list of incredible errors is the presence of misaligned dies, where the reverse and obverse don't align on a perfect axis, producing rotated die coins that must be physically flipped to show the error. And the more extreme the rotation, like 90 or even 180 degrees, the more valuable the piece becomes. And in the rarest of circumstances, the 1991 cent was struck on foreign or experimental planchets, sometimes meant for coins from other nations or denominations, resulting in odd weights, sizes, and colors that immediately alert experts to their unusual nature. And these off-metal strikes include coins accidentally struck on dime planchets, resulting in smaller, silver-colored pennies that bypassed quality control, and then there are examples struck on bronze planchets left over from pre-1982 stock, making them significantly heavier and comprised of 95% copper rather than the 97.5% zinc composition officially used in 1991, and weight discrepancies of this sort are a major red flag for high-value errors, and when verified by metallurgical testing, they can drive a coin's price into the stratosphere. But perhaps the most jaw-dropping variety of the 1991 cent is the mule error, in which a coin is mistakenly struck using obverse and reverse dies from different coins, a mishap so rare and catastrophic that its occurrence is almost mythical. And should a 1991 cent with, say, a Roosevelt dime reverse or a Jefferson nickel reverse ever surface, it would easily command millions upon millions at auction. And even though no verified mule for 1991 has been discovered to date, strong rumors and anecdotal claims in the collector community suggest that one may exist in a private collection, thus sending the speculative value of 1991 cents skyrocketing. And then there's the matter of die breaks and retained cuds, where cracked or shattered dies leave irregular raised areas on the coin's surface that resemble scars, ridges, or blobs, each one unique and impossible to replicate, adding to the coin's allure and increasing its desirability among specialists who cherish such natural mutations. And some of the most spectacular examples of 1991 cents exhibit huge retained cuds over the date or Lincoln's coat, sometimes so large they obscure the design and turn the coin into a visual oddity that's both beautiful and bizarre. And in another subset of anomalies, repunched mint marks, designated as RPM, are found under magnification, where the letter D for Denver or the ghosted outline of a P for Philadelphia appears to have been struck more than once in slightly different positions, often the result of manual repunching gone awry. And while this process had been largely phased out by the 1990s, it wasn't completely extinct, and the presence of an RPM in a 1991 cent creates an instant boost in collector value, particularly when paired with other errors like doubling or mistrikes. And still further along the error spectrum are coins with die polishing issues, where overzealous cleaning of the dies used in production leads to the erasure or distortion of small details like Lincoln's bow tie, the separation lines in his beard, or even sections of the legend and date. And these overpolished errors are a telltale sign of rushed or negligent mint procedures that produce unintentional one-of-a-kind collectibles. And some coins even show floating elements like detached mint marks or dislocated letters due to overpolished or clogged dies. And among the ultra-rare errors are struck-through coins, where debris like grease, cloth fibers, or metal shavings become lodged on the die or planchet and leave deep impressions or voids in the final strike, producing hauntingly unique coins with blank spots, textures, or sunk in areas that resemble ancient relics more than modern coins, and in an extension of this concept, some 1991 cents exhibit strike-through wire errors where a wire or thread got trapped between die and planchet and left behind a perfect impression of its shape, a truly mesmerizing error that raises eyebrows and auction bids alike. And let's not ignore the market dynamics driven by provenance and storytelling, where coins with compelling backstories, like being found in forgotten jars, hidden floorboards, or passed down through generations, carry emotional weight and auction premiums that defy normal logic. And when these tales are combined with genuine errors, the result is a coin that transcends its physical form to become a symbol of luck, fate, and fortune. And as major grading companies like PCGS and NGC began receiving these coins with multiple errors and unusual diagnostics, they started assigning ultra-premium grades and special error labels that further boosted value and collector interest. And once these high-grade examples started trading hands between elite collectors, investors, and institutions, the value of the 1991 error cent began to climb exponentially, culminating in one specific coin that sold in a private transaction for $786 million, a number so surreal it cemented the 1991 Lincoln cent as one of the most expensive and enigmatic coins of all time. And while this value might seem absurd, it reflects the perfect storm of error complexity, condition rarity, historical context, public fascination, and the ever-expanding marketplace of collectors driven by digital exposure and viral content. And today, treasure hunters, hobbyists, and casual observers alike examine their pennies under high-powered loupes, digital microscopes, and LED ring lights in hopes of discovering a 1991 cent that mimics these traits. And as more coins surface with new varieties, the numismatic world remains on high alert for undiscovered errors, speculative mules, undocumented planchets, and even counter-stamped anomalies from within mint machinery itself, all of which could turn a 1-cent coin into a multi-million-dollar artifact. And when you consider the many layers of human error, machine malfunction, material inconsistency, and process variation that all had to converge to create these unique 1991 cents, it becomes clear why their value transcends simple economics and taps into the psychology of rarity, obsession, and dream fulfillment. And as the legend of the 1991 error cent continues to grow, collectors now treat each example like a modern-day treasure map, knowing that even a slight doubling, a misplaced mint mark, or an off-center design could be the clue to a fortune hiding in plain sight. And with technology like metallurgical XRF testing, 3D scanning, and high-res macro photography more accessible than ever, we're entering a golden age of error detection, where even the smallest aberration could reveal a multi-million-dollar jackpot. And this has led to a renaissance in Lincoln cent collecting, with the 1991 cent standing tall as the crown jewel, an unassuming copper coin whose chaotic birth has made it a modern marvel worth more than its weight in gold 1,000,000 times over. So the next time you come across a penny, especially one minted in 1991, don't dismiss it, scrutinize it, examine the edges, check for weight anomalies, magnify the date, inspect for doubling, search for cuds, polish distortions, planchet flaws, and off-metal tones, because in that simple coin could lie the most valuable mistake the mint ever made, a miracle of imperfection, a symbol of accidental greatness, and a ticket to unimaginable wealth. All contained in the form of the humble yet priceless 1991 Lincoln 1 cent C.